Minister George Werner, thank you very much indeed for talking to me. You are Minister of Education in Liberia. And of course, sadly, Liberia was one of those countries that was affected by the Ebola outbreak not so long ago. And the GDP, your economy really suffered. GDP lost about 8.5%. Now, what the Ebola crisis did really show is the fact that if governments do not invest sufficiently in their health workforce to create a resilient, robust health service to meet the needs of its people, particularly at times of crises, then we know what happens. So it was a lesson well learned for you in Liberia, wasn't it?
Zainab, it's an honor to be with you. And yes, it was a lesson, a very hard one at that, because we lost thousands, many of whom were healthcare workers. So what we're doing now in Liberia is to say to ourselves, we don't want to rebuild what was or restore what was because it wasn't good enough. We want a more robust health system to look at the mandate and function of our health institutions, to look at new delivery systems, and to train the people that manage those systems. So it's a comprehensive health workforce package, including paying them well in an affordable way that the budget can take. Liberia's budget is not that huge. A country of 4 million people, around 500 or so million per year. That's not much considering our needs.
So you say that you're going to really use the Ebola crisis as an opportunity in a way to build something better in terms of your health workforce. What changes need to be made to ensure that you educate and train the health workforce in the way that the WHO, OECD, ILO Commission report has illustrated?
Well, the report itself is very comprehensive. What Liberia has already begun doing, and in many ways Liberia is several steps ahead. We have looked at our Ministry of Health, and there's a new act that we are passing to change the mandate and function of the ministry. Within the health workforce and working with others, particularly the bank, the Clinton Global Health Initiative and others, USAID, to look at ways in which we can invest not just in infrastructure, but looking at creating community health workers, health managers. As you know, in many of the developing countries, what happens is because clinicians get paid so low, many of them take on administrative posts. So the bedside nursing is abandoned because somebody wants to make more. We need to let doctors go back to treating people and train a new cadre of health managers. So all of these are being taught through. The other thing is, after the war, because the government's fiscal space was very limited, we sought help from the international community to pay healthcare workers. Now that is dwindling. So government is taking on the responsibility. Last year alone, we added at least 2,000 more healthcare workers to the payroll. So in it all, we are guided by affordability and what is sustainable. The pay is still very low, but I think many healthcare workers want to be appreciated. They want their pay to increase over time, but most importantly, they want to be on government's payroll because that guarantees them other benefits, including retirement and all of that. So we're working on all of this already.
George Werner, Minister of Education in Liberia, thank you very much indeed for helping us set some of the issues in this report into motion in terms of generating a debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Zainab. It's an honor and opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.